Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to today's reading here at Transform with Rian. And in today's reading, we're going to look at how your future spouse would describe you. So, before we get into this reading, let's pull a collective card reading to ground our energies and get us in the space here to receive the messages in your group's reading. So, take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Brilliant. And one more time, deep breath in. And exhale out. Lovely. So, our collective message today is from Rainbow Obsidian. Heal your heart. And isn't that true for anything that involves love and romance? Is that you have to heal your energies, heal your pains to really tap into the full breath of love within your heart, because it's kind of like, how are you going to love somebody else if you can't love yourself, right? And a lot of that involves heart healing work. So beautiful message from Rainbow Obsidian. So we have our three options here, and we are going to start with group number one. So welcome to your reading, group number one, to find out more about how your future spouse would describe you. So I pulled these three character cards here just to get the conversation going, and then we'll pull some tarot cards as well to see what else your future spouse might have to say about you. All right? So the first card we have here is Archetypes, blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. Ooh, lovely. And we got some Marvel cards going on here. You know I love Marvel. Let me know if you're a Marvel fan as well. And let me know who your favorite character is down in the comments below. All right. Maybe some of you have watched my videos before know that Psylocke is like my favorite character. But I really actually enjoy the movie version of Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland is a great actor to portray Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. So let me know who you like in the Marvel Universe. You have Lockjaw. A good guard dog is hard to find. Oh, this is interesting, right? So we have Archetypes, Lockjaw, and Turtle, retreat. Stop trying to make something happen. Oh, well, for sure, what I'm seeing here, oh, that was really warm over there. What I'm seeing here already to kind of start off the reading is that your future spouse would describe you as someone who's very patient, okay? We have the word patient here, not giving up, and stop trying to make something happen. So I feel like they would definitely say that you're the type of person that doesn't easily get discouraged, right? So many people these days, they're on that go, get things done, make things happen, move things along. And it's like so much of the world is in such a rush these days. But I feel like your energy is actually so calming, because it can help your future spouse and even others sort of slow down that hamster wheel, right? Slow down that scurrying around that the mind tends to push us towards. And we see this like beautiful white color here, right? And white is this, to me, symbolizes like a lot of peaceful, calm energy. And it's kind of, to me, it's sort of like a reset, right? Where it's like you can take a step back, reset your system, take a rest, and then move forward. Like that's the energy I'm hearing from white. It's a very pure energy as well. So what I'm seeing here, and you also have like this light coming out from Lockjaw's little tiara looking thing, right? Is that there's this pureness about you, right? Like there's like you are a very trustworthy and reliable person. Especially here with like a good guard dog is hard to find, right? Like you're very protective of your friends and your family, and you wouldn't ever do anything to compromise their safety or their health, or to the best of your ability, their happiness, right? So I feel like that's other key things your future spouse would say about you. And here with the turtle, the energy here is just so peaceful again. It's making me think of like Finding Nemo and Squirt. And I can't remember the dad's name. Wow. But I loved Squirt, and I even got like a little Squirt doll. I loved that character so much. It's so, so cute. But with the turtle, I'm getting this energy of like a very peaceful being that just kind of floats effortlessly and swims through life. Like, I feel like with this patience as well, you're that type of person that doesn't get super stressed out, very easily. I get the sense too, you're not like a worrywart, that your future spouse probably actually really values the fact that your energy isn't so tense and nervous and anxious all the time, and you're very calm and very serene. There's something about that you are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. There's some other message coming through with that I'm trying to hone into here for all of you. So I'm getting this sense that you're the type of person that just because you may not know how to do something, or you might not be like an expert at it or quickly catch on to things, that actually doesn't discourage you from trying it out. And I don't get the sense that you're necessarily adventurous, but I get the sense that if something interests you enough, like, you will go for it. You will try to learn what you can and how to do it. And you're not that type of person that's quick to give up, right? Like, if you're just not getting the hang of it, what's more important to you is your interest in it and how much passion you have for it. So, like, I'm seeing an example of like arts and crafts, right? Like, maybe you're not the best at folding origami when you first start, right? But you're that type of person that will practice and keep trying at it and get better, like step by step by step, little by little, get better and better and better with each time you do it. And like, when you're in this learning process, this sort of mastery process, you are very like disciplined. You stick with it. You're not a quitter. Okay, that's what I'm hearing about your future spouse's description of you. And it's almost like maybe you even enjoy puzzles, right? Like, you enjoy a good puzzle. And so the more it challenges you, that challenge actually doesn't deter you. That challenge is almost exciting in a way to you, okay? So very, very beautiful. I love that. I love that. And a good guard dog is hard to find. I also find that your future spouse really feels like, they hit the jackpot with you, right? That despite, they're all the other fish in the sea, for example, they're really, really happy and grateful that they found you, okay? They don't take you for granted in the slightest. Wow, that was a weird shuffling, right, guys? Like, what happened there? I think the cards are like, don't shuffle me that way. Okay, we will honor that. So I feel like they definitely have this feeling like they lucked out with being able to be your partner and your spouse. Because they know that, they could have drawn the short end of the stick in some ways. And they also know that you could have easily chosen someone else and not them. So that's beautiful. So that saying, like, oh, this is my better half. Usually when some people introduce their spouses, they might say something like that. I feel that statement really resonates with your future spouse whenever they introduce you to other people or talk about you. Like, oh, let me talk to my better half about that, or let me defer to my spouse because they're so much better at making decisions than I am, or learning things, right? Like, they're not stingy or selfish when it comes to complimenting you and speaking highly of you. And that's, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I can't even tell you. I feel like I keep knocking my stand for my camera. Okay, so we have Queen of Cups. What else kind of stuff do they say? Emperor. Oh my gosh, and the Star. How lovely is that with the Star? I'm going to draw some more cards, but why don't we take a pause here and look at these? So with the Star card, they definitely see you as someone very bright. I would say both, like, literally, like, you're smart, okay, and you're intelligent, and as you learn things, it's like you hold on to that knowledge. And again, you tend to master things that you show an interest in it. interest in and things that are important to you, whatever these skills and talents are, you tend to move towards mastery of them. So very bright in that regard. But also they see you as a bright individual. Remember we were talking about like that pureness about you, that light, that reliability, that just innate goodness. I would say they definitely describe you in that way as well. I'm hearing that, they wouldn't think of you as like this very like loud, obnoxious, crude kind of individual, like rough around the edges, like nothing like that. Very graceful, very well poised. I mean, look at this too. You got royalty cards, Queen of Cups, the Emperor, right? So those again speak to me about this level of mastery that you have in life. Okay. I'm seeing here too that you're very empathic. They would say you're very thoughtful and considerate of other people, and you have a knack for really understanding how people are feeling when words aren't spoken. Like you can kind of look at other people's behavior, right? And be like, something tells me that you're having a bad day. And so I brought you a little treat to brighten it up a bit, right? Or something tells me you need a little space, you need to cool down, but when you're ready to talk, just come talk to me. Like I feel like you're very observant with people, and your observations are very, very accurate, okay? With the Emperor card here, I'm seeing this leadership, like, again, remember how I said, like, gave that example? I was just kind of like channeling and speaking about how your future spouse would be like, oh, let me just defer to my better half to make the decision or make the call on that. So I feel like your future spouse, again, maybe sees you as probably the more responsible one out of the two of you, right? And I think that can be said for so many different types of households where it's like one of the partners tends to be a little bit more responsible when it comes to like safety or finances or planning things out or not forgetting things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like your future spouse would probably say that you were the one that was the more responsible of the two of you, and perhaps even the more organized. And so those are those qualities of leadership that they would say you embody. Sometimes we look to leaders as the one that has the most brilliant ideas, right? Or someone who's the most outgoing, outspoken, or the most charismatic, the most charming, right? Maybe those are some characteristics that you would consider a leader, right? But there are also these other characteristics, again, like I said, organized, calm, good listener, observant, and compassionate, thoughtful, those types of things, like total opposite of like selfish, rude, spoiled, like none of those sort of traits at all. So, that's so sweet, right? So sweet. Okay, let's see what else your future spouse would say to describe you. Oh my gosh, I like shuffled it that way again, and I was like, sorry, cards! I totally didn't mean to do it that way. Oh my gosh, there's this song that came into my head now that as I'm shuffling, y'all know I love my music, right? That soundtrack going all the time here. So for those of you that don't know Maya, M-Y-A, she's like an R&B singer that was like really big in like the late 90s, I want to say, mid to late 90s, early 2000s. But she had this song when she wasn't that big anymore called Team You. And it's like, cause I'm Team You, Team You, Team You. I ain't got nobody else cause I'm Team You, Team You, Team You. They don't understand this. They don't understand just what that we've been through. Team You, Team You, Team You, Team You. So the whole song is really just about like, we're a team and I'm on your team. Like we've been through a lot. We're both go-getters. We both have, the same drive and ambition. And there's all these other people out there in there, but I'm on your team. I'm on your side, right? So I feel like that vibe is coming through. I don't know why I totally did not even know the lyrics as I was singing. I was like blanking out. Brain farts. OMGs. Okay, but it's a good song. So go listen to it so you can actually hear how the lyrics actually go. Six of Wands. Wow, victory. So your future spouse is really proud of everything that you achieve. No matter how big, no matter how small, they feel like you are quite accomplished in life. And if you didn't get this hint before, your future spouse totally brags about you. Okay? Totally brags about you. Oh my God, look at this. Two of Cups. This is definitely telling me that they consider you like the love of their life. They forgot everyone else before you, which I feel like is totally song lyrics. And now I'm hearing that Erykah Badu song. How many of y'all know Erykah Badu? She used to be like the stuff back in the day. I don't know what she's up to these days, but she has this song where it's like, love of my life, you are my friend, love of my life. On you I can depend. So, like, she sings the song Love of My Life, and that would be an appropriate title for you, according to your future spouse. Next, we also have the Knight of Coins. Bam! What were we just talking about? This dependability, reliability. And you know what I'm thinking too now when I see this turtle? How appropriate is this that this phrase is coming to my mind? But also, it's weird that it's kind of triggered by the Knight of Coins, which doesn't have a turtle on it. But it's like that slow and steady wins the race, right? Whereas like the race between the tortoise and the hare, if you know or are familiar with that sort of fable, where it's like you may not be the fastest, you may not be the most like flashiest or glamorous person in the room, but you get stuff done. You handle your business, honey. Like that's what I'm hearing from your future spouse. Like totally reliable. They can count on you to do whatever it is that you say you're gonna do, and you're gonna do it well. I feel like you're gonna do it well. Again, it may not be the fastest process here, but what comes out is pure quality. Why, my loves? Because your future spouse thinks you are quality. Okay, you better own that. You better claim that right now. Claim that. Comment down below. I am of the highest quality. I am of the highest quality. One more again. I am of the highest quality. Yes, honey, I love that for you. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. It sounds like your future spouse really has a lot of very loving and kind words to speak of you, and that's brilliant. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the ways you support the channel here as it continues to grow with the likes, the subscribes, the comments, and letting the ads run. All of that goes such a long way. I really appreciate that. And if you would benefit from a personal reading with me, rather than a general one here, just check the description box down below to figure out how you can arrange that. And never forget, it ain't too late for your happily ever after, boo. So keep on living. Love ya! Hey there, group 2. Welcome to your reading to find out how your future spouse would describe you. So let's see kind of what we got to begin our reading here. We have the goddess Lakshmi with bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Oh, I love that. So you are like the calm and level-headed one in the relationship. And your future spouse would say like you're the one that kind of keeps it together in times of crisis, right? And that you're the one that really keeps kind of that hope alive, where it's like, hey, everything is gonna be okay. Oh my gosh, now I'm hearing that song by Whitney Houston, Your Love Is My Love. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It would take an eternity to break us. Any change of other stars couldn't hold us. And at the end, they're like, everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be alright. Because I think it has like Wyclef Jean in it. And I feel like that's probably sampled from another song, even maybe like from Bob Marley. But yes, so that is kind of your vibe, is that song where it's like, hey, we can make it through anything. We got this. Like, we can do this. We're together. We're in it together. Like, let's just get it done. Like, very optimistic, right? Very, like, like I'm hearing also like cheerleader vibes where it's like, oh, morale. Oh my God. Yes, that is the word. You can boost the morale, keep the morale going so that people don't like just give up, you know? So it's not like you're inspirational per se, but you're that person that it's like you have that endurance and that stamina, and you can really help cheer people on and support people as they move forward through whatever challenge or difficulty, right? I feel like you're kind of also even that sort of problem solver in a way, you know, where it's like, hey, it's not that bad. Let's just look at it another way, or let's just take a second to look at what the big picture is. Maybe there's something we miss, and we got this. We'll figure it out. Like, there's nothing to worry about. You know, like I feel like that's really your energy here. And I feel like there's also some wisdom. You know, I was looking at the image again and like seeing the elephants, and there's something about this calm wisdom here that you have about you where maybe you don't have like an encyclopedia Britannica, Wikipedia sort of wealth of knowledge within you, but what knowledge you do have is very wise, very good advice. Oh, I love that. Yes, honey, you better work. Okay, we got our Marvel card here. So y'all know I love me some Marvel. Let me know if you love Marvel too. What is your favorite character? I am really a fan of Psylocke from the comic books. I can't wait till X-Men comes to the MCU officially. But as far as MCU goes, I really love like Tom Holland as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Like perfect sort of representation of this young character who, you know, wants to do good in the world and has a wonderful sense of humor, right? So, love that character. Let me know what your character is. Ooh, Mystique. So, we do have someone who has appeared in the movies from the comics. What you see is never what you get. So, what I'm seeing here that your future spouse would probably say, like, do not underestimate you, right? I think that maybe you are very unassuming. Maybe you're such like a bright and kind, caring, compassionate person in general that maybe some people kind of take you for granted or underestimate you. But you got some like mad skills here, honey. And you know, just because you're nice, just because you can be a cheerleader, it doesn't mean that you take crap from anybody. Do you know what I'm saying? And Mystique, she's pretty bad, you know? She's pretty like bad A. She can fight, she can transform, she is a good negotiator, manipulator, and I don't even mean that necessarily in a bad way, like the manipulator part. Because it's like you know how to persuade and inspire and encourage people to do the right thing and keep moving forward, right? It's almost like you know just what to say or do to help people kind of pick themselves back up or push a little bit further when they didn't think they could or they didn't think they had anything left in them, okay? And with Mystique too, like she's a shapeshifter if you're not familiar with the character. So I feel like you can really wear a lot of hats and you can wear them well. Like you can fulfill a lot of different roles. So your future spouse would say like you're very versatile, you're multi-talented even, okay? Just like Mystique is, right? You have to be if you're going to shapeshift into other people and like do espionage. And so I get that sense here that your future spouse really thinks highly of that talent that you have of being multi-talented, you know, having multiple skills and putting on many different hats to accommodate whatever needs the situation or the group has, you know. We also have bear. Ooh, boundaries. Stand your ground. So I am also seeing like some mama bear energy coming through or papa bear energy coming through from you where, you know, part of what's so great about you is like, yeah, you're willing to help people, but you've sort of mastered the art of helping people. So what do I mean by that? There are so many people out there in the world who are givers and they will literally like bend over backwards, give you the last amount of cash in their pocket to give you a meal, right? And they don't really do a good job of taking care of themselves. because they're so busy taking care of other people. But I feel like with you, you have mastered that balance where you know how to set these boundaries, where it's like you protect your energy, you protect your space, you protect your people as well. And you make it very clear, but not like this bear looks so docile. Like it's just like, you know, plopping along through the woods, through the field here. And it isn't like what we see so often in like commercials and stuff where the bear like is like getting up on its hind legs and like rah, growling at people. You know what I'm saying? Like this bear is a beautiful depiction of like what bears do 99% of the time instead of like growling at people and like being all threatening. It's like totally chill. And what I'm seeing here is, you know, from that wisdom and from that knowledge that you gain, you use that to really protect your boundaries, like stand up for yourself and for others. Because again, you have that experience, right? You have that experience where people, you're not so easily swayed, easily influenced. You know, like there's some people where it's like the moment someone stands up to them, the moment someone challenges them or questions them, they kind of like back down. You know what I'm saying? You're not like that at all. Like when you know what you know and you are feeling strongly and passionately about it, like people need to watch out because you're not an easy target. You're not an easy opponent to take down when you believe in whatever it is you're saying or fighting about, right? Or debating about. Maybe not fighting, like I'm not saying like we have like, you know, Fight Club Street Fighters over here in this place. What else would your future spouse say when they describe you, right? What else would they say about you? Okay, I feel like we'll draw some more here in a second, but I feel like this is a good place to... Oh my gosh, the Emperor! This showed up in reading number 1 as well. So I don't know. I mean, there are some things that are a little bit similar with reading number 1. So if you felt called to listen to reading number 1 as well, like, go for it, you know? Like, the universe is abundant here. So you don't have to pick just one out of the 3 options. But the Emperor showed up here. And I feel like with this, as it relates to your reading in particular, there's this energy of authority about you, right? Like, you know what I said with the mama bear, you know, bears don't run around in like packs. It's like the mama bear with her baby bears, and then she protects her cubs, she protects her territory. And so with this Emperor, it's like, I am the authority of my spaces, right? Like people don't come in my house acting a fool, don't come into my office acting crazy, acting disrespectful. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like you really hold that energy that commands respect, right? Which is such a beautiful like interplay with this optimism, this kind, supportive, positive energy here, you know? Because some people, they could easily like have authority and abuse it. You know what I'm saying? Or have authority and be a total butthead about it. And I feel like that's not you at all. And you know, I'm looking at the Emperor too, like the white beard and the gray hair. To me, like those are markers and signs of wisdom, of having been through a lot of life's challenges, a lot of life's tribulations and trials, and coming out wiser for it. You know? And so I feel like this is that energy that you have. And there's a lot of power too. Like red is a very powerful color. I also see you have a lot of energy, right? I mean, you have to, if you're like multitasking, multi-talented, protecting people, helping people, and protecting your energy as well. So I sense that you have a lot of energy about you. We have the Five of Wands. Oh my gosh, the Star. What? I promise, I really shuffled this really, really well. But the Star also came out in the first reading, so you might want to consider that. The Queen of Cups, that also came out. Okay, I promise, y'all, I shuffled with this deck. But I definitely think now you should go just listen to reading number 1, because some of those things in there might be true for you as well. That's insane that 3 of these cards showed up. So what does this have to say about you and your reading, though? So with the star, I'm actually seeing for you, because we have the sun here, which is also like a giant star. With these two stars and this one kind of in the sky, I feel like your future spouse would say like you're moving on up in life, where they don't see you as that type of person that stays in the same job or the same role for like an extended period of time, like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Like they see you moving up, right? They see you kind of like building out and expanding on things. So if you work in like a traditional job, a traditional setting, it's like you're not just gonna be like a worker. You're gonna become a shift leader. Then you're gonna become um, a manager, then you're going to become like a store manager, a regional manager, right? Like you're going to move up the ranks. That's what I'm seeing here with the star is like, I heard the phrase rising star. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's like you're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to step into higher roles and positions, continue to get into higher paying or making more money types of things, right? Like things are just getting better for you. And maybe even with volunteer stuff, right? Like maybe you might start out as a volunteer, but now you're like heading it. And or you're on the committee, you're on the council, right? Like I feel like you continuously advance at regular intervals in your life. That's what I feel this star card is saying here in your particular reading. Group 1 was a little bit different. Now with this Queen of Cups here, I'm also seeing something a little bit differently than I did with Group 1. What I'm seeing is there's something magical about you, and it has to do with your ability to have all these different talents, all these different skills, maybe even juggle a couple of things, or more than one thing. Actually, a couple is like just two things, but you can juggle several things at one time. It's kind of like a wonder how you stay so on top of things at times, right? But that's also a sign of a great leader, a great ruler. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so your future spouse would definitely say that you have a talent for that. Like that's almost magical. It's almost like beyond words, beyond description. It's like you're not the average human being. There you go, honey. Why don't you comment that down below as well? I'm not no average human being. Okay? So I am not an average human being. I am not an average human being. Hey, hey. So your future selves would definitely say you are not an average human being. You're like above average, you're stupendous, you're excellent. Like they would use all those like um words of praise for you. Now we have the 5 of Wands here. So I would say that, when it comes to debates and arguments and disagreements, you tend to win. Okay? So, like, people, when they step to you, when they decide to get into it with you, like, they better watch out because you win most of the battles that you ever partake in, right? Whatever arguments or debates come your way, you like have a high success rate. You have a high win rate, okay? I'm not gonna say you're virtually undefeated because there's wisdom in losing as well, and you're a very wise being. But I would say more often than not, like you win. You come out on top. You're like the victor here, okay? And so, your future spouse, I'm hearing, like, don't cross them. You don't want to cross them. Like, you don't want to be their enemy, right? Like, I feel like those are things your future spouse might say to describe you, that you're a formidable force. You're a force to be reckoned with, okay? Yes. That is the truth. Okay, what else do we got for you, loves? Page of Coins and the Two of Coins. Hello? Do you see these little half human, half bear cubs over here? Like, whoa. So this bear energy is very, very strong. I'm seeing that, it's sort of like, how do we look at bears, right? How would you look at a bear? How would you describe a bear? Some people would say like bears are really ferocious and scary animals in real life. But we also have these like toys, and I feel like I need to look this up because I'm curious. Like we have teddy bears, right? The classic teddy bears that's meant to comfort and soothe us, something that we can cuddle with, that's soft and like friendly looking, right? We have these like really opposite end of the spectrum kind of ideas and notions of bears. But what I really feel here is like you can maybe have that image, right? Where again, multi talented, multifaceted, where maybe people don't have a good sense of you, you know, and they're like, what are you truly here? Because it seems like you're a mix of a couple of different things here. And the truth is, you're multifaceted, like I said, right? There isn't any one way to view you, there isn't any one box you fit into. You are this beautiful blend of a person. And again, that's really, I would say, valued and cherished by your future spouse, that you're so dynamic in that way. Um, and complex. Yes, that is a good word. Like I'm looking at her cloak here and like look at this complex like beadwork, like tapestry thing that they got going on here. Like, you know, maybe that doesn't look amazing to us in modern day times, but at the time that this folklore, this folk story is taking place, like that's some pretty impressive like beadwork. You know what I'm saying? So they would see you as a very complex being, that there's very few like words, like one single word adjectives they could use to describe you. But look to how, you know, this person is really caring for her hybrid babies, right? Like there's this loving look and this loving energy coming through from her. So I feel too that, you know, you don't take diversity for granted, you don't take human rights for granted, you don't take the environment for granted. Like you have this energy where it's not, I don't feel that you're very judgy. You're very open minded. You're very open hearted. Okay. But again, it's just like, don't cross me. I have my boundaries, but I will have your back as long as you act right, as long as you do right, you're honest, right? You give back to the community or you return the favor, you're an honorable person. Like, I got you. And I feel that energy coming through from you as well. You know, very generous spirit, very loving spirit. And I feel too like you're not that type of person who judges a book by their cover. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, Page of Coins. We have the sun again. Sun over there, sun back here, sun over here. Very, very bright, very intelligent person, for sure. I'm also seeing the mountains, so I feel like that's symbolizing the obstacles. And look again, complex clothing, complex textile. I think that's the right phrase or right use of the word textile. So complex individual. But reindeer are approaching this woman or this girl, I can't really tell her age. And so I feel like you're a very approachable person, okay? So the bear claws and the bear teeth don't come out unless they cross you or unless they do wrong by you. But in general, you're a very approachable person. You're a person that is willing to lend an ear, a sympathetic ear to other people, willing to hear out if there's a way that you can help somebody. You know, it doesn't mean that you agree to help every single person that asks for your help because you have those boundaries, which is good, but you do hear people out. So I think that's very lovely. I think that like your future spouse seems to have like a great deal of respect for you. And I think that's beautiful. So let me know what you thought of your reading. You know, if you enjoyed it, give me a like, give me a little heart comment down below. And thank you for supporting this channel by watching the videos, subscribing, letting the ads run, like sharing the videos even. Like those are great ways to show your love and support to the channel. And I really value and appreciate that. And of course, let me know as well if you'd like to connect further. If you want a personal reading, I do offer those. So just look in the description box down below and I'm happy to help you out. But otherwise, it's never too late for your happily ever after love. Hey there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading to find out more about how your future spouse would describe you. I don't know why I said it that way, but let's get into your reading, huh? So you have Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. Ooh, so I definitely sense that your future spouse would say that you are someone that is very, very dedicated, very, very focused on your goals, and you make it work. So, like, what does that look like? It I'm hearing that you're not easily distractible, right? So probably someone wouldn't describe you as a person that has ADD, ADHD. Like, that's not you at all. You have a very good focus, and you're not easily distracted by things. And your future spouse would probably say, like, you have this singularly focused mind when you have a task in front of you, when you have a problem that needs to be solved. And I'm hearing the word that at times, maybe it could even come off or turn into a little bit of obsessiveness, right? Where if there's a puzzle or there's a dilemma that you can't quite figure out, like, you will think about it persistently, and you'll like keep going till you find that answer. And I'm hearing too, like, Sherlock Holmes. I've been watching this show Elementary on Hulu. And let me know if you watch that show, if you like sort of like mystery plot lines and mystery storylines as well. I'm not really into true crime, but I do appreciate like Sherlock Holmes and those types of TV shows with fictional characters and mysteries. Keeps me in suspense, right? So anywho, I'm hearing with this Sherlock Holmes vibe, like, you really enjoy a good puzzle, and like Sherlock Holmes, when he wants to solve this mystery, like, he will go to whatever lengths to figure it out and figure people out. Like, a big thing that's been highlighted in the season I'm watching is like how he like can pick locks, right? And just enter people's homes and enter people's offices as this, detective, even though the police aren't legally allowed to be doing that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But he like does it. He just has it in his head. He's like, I'm gonna figure this out no matter what barriers are in my way. And he's also that kind of personality too, who's very straightforward, you know? And I feel like that's how your focused energy comes out as well. Like, you don't beat around the bush when you talk to people. You're very upfront, straightforward. Like, there is no way anyone can possibly confuse what it is you're trying to ask them, what it is you're trying to tell them, or even how it is that you feel about them, right? Like, I feel like you're a very upfront and candid individual. I feel like your future spouse would definitely picks up on that and sees that it's almost like you're not really duplicitous. You're not that type of person that is like two-faced at all. It's like everybody knows where they stand with you. Okay? Friend or foe. You know what I'm saying? Or neutral in between. Like, people just know. You're very clear on that. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Okay, we have a Marvel card. Y'all know I love Marvel. And y'all know, if you watch this channel, that Psylocke is my favorite character. I cannot wait till she makes her way, along with the other X-Men, into the MCU. But for now, I'm really happy with Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland does a great job of portraying Peter Parker. Let me know if you love Marvel too. Let me know who your favorite character is, because I'd love to nerd out over that. Oh my gosh, you got Doctor Doom. Control at all costs. There we go. At all costs. I feel like that's one of your key phrases here. Now, I'm not saying that you're that type of person that has no morals. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I feel like you're that type of person that's okay with bending the rules a little bit. Okay? No tea, no shade. But I just really feel like you're that type of person that's not afraid to bend the rules a little bit. It's like the ends justify the means kind of thought process in a lot of cases for you. Now, what I'm seeing here too is that, the word control. So your future spouse may say that you can be a bit controlling at times. But what I really feel is it's not a bad thing. I think it's just like a byproduct of your focus and your intent, right? Like, you have a very clear sense of like how you want things to look, how you want things to go. And a lot of people really see that, or it comes off as being someone who's very controlling. And personally, I just feel like that's not a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like it's just a personality trait, do you know? And it has its benefits and it does have its drawbacks, just like everything else, you know? Like, even though people are, it's a good quality to be nice, there is such a thing as being too nice, where people kind of take advantage of you and walk all over you. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing with the control aspect. Now, the other thing that maybe some people don't know about Dr. Doom is like he's a very smart person, first of all. He is also very well versed in the mystic arts. So, you know, think like Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange energy, right? So he is this very impressive knowledge of science, but also a very impressive knowledge of mysticism. So, what I'm feeling is coming through with this is that you have this very balanced way of looking at things in life. Like, you're not overly scientific and like immovable, where you don't budge, where it's almost like dogmatic, right? Like, you're not that way at all, because you have this connection with sort of your intuition, your gut instincts, right? And you understand the role of having faith and belief in something beyond you, also, right? Like, mysticism is part of that, where it's like there's some other greater power, this greater force that's part of life that we cannot control necessarily, but we can connect with and we can have as an ally to work with us, you know? So I feel like you have a good handle on that. Now, the other thing that maybe some people don't know about Dr. Doom is actually he's like the monarch of his own country, Latvia. So I feel like you have a lot, what I'm hearing is like you have a lot of boss energy about you, right? I think part of your skills here that we talked about really lends a hand if you are in a leadership position. And if you're not, like, one could argue you would be a great leader, you know? And I feel like your future spouse sees you that way. Oh, rabbit, fertility. Your creativity is at a peak. So interesting that we have someone who, a creature who's very meek and mild, right? Definitely more prey than predator. And then we have these very strong personas here on this end. Very, very interesting. And I feel like, again, maybe it's that force to be reckoned with kind of vibe coming through from you, where don't underestimate you. Like, I'm hearing here actually, like, you may be like short or maybe like unintimidating appearance wise, but you are like a boss, right? When it comes to your intellect, when it comes to your skill and your determination. Now, with this creativity is at a peak, I feel like you are kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier, a problem solver, okay? Because you have that focused intent. And there's probably no coincidence that I thought of Sherlock Holmes, like detective, right? Like, you can solve these puzzles and these riddles and these challenges that crop up in life because of your attention and your dedication to solving it, on top of these skills that you have, this knowledge and wisdom that you have, right? But you stick with it. And I feel that you can do this on your own quite easily, okay? Like, you're very self-sufficient. Yes, that is a great word for you. So your future spouse sees you as someone as very, very self-sufficient. It's like, it's not that you don't need help or you don't want help. It's really just you're capable. You are so capable. You're so independent. Like, if people were to offer you help, like, you could graciously accept it if you need it. Of course, they'd have to kind of listen to you because you like that control. You like things done a certain way, but you can graciously accept it if you need it and you're open to it. But if someone doesn't help you, like, that doesn't stop you. Like, you can still get things done on your own, right? It might just take a little bit more time because you don't have an extra set of hands, but don't worry, it will get done, you know? Like, I feel like that's your energy here. And this creativity, we were talking about that problem solving, right? And I think creativity is a big part of problem solving. That's being able to see things from different angles. And that's kind of Sherlock's forte, right? Like, there's maybe a crime that's committed and he can see all these different angles, all this different data and information to kind of find out who the criminal is, who the culprit is. And so I feel like that's you, where you can see things from a lot of different angles. So very like strategic in a way with your thinking. Very like, I'm also hearing the word all encompassing, you know? Ooh, okay. Watch out. I feel like you would be that person that I would want in like a puzzle room with me. Do you like those puzzle rooms? I feel like you probably would do amazing in those settings. And I think they're a lot of fun. I think I went to two before. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Oh, escape room. I said puzzle room. The escape room is a puzzle, but escape room is like the better title. Ooh, I'm so glad I caught myself. Have you been in those? They're really fun though. They're really fun. So what else would your future spouse say about you? How else would they describe you? Okay, I feel like Spirit is saying pause right there. Let's look at these 3 cards and then we'll draw some more. Temperance. Look at that. All these arms holding on to all these different tools and items. Ooh, I feel like you, even though you're super focused, I feel like you have your hand in a lot of different things. I feel like that's also a reflection of the vastness of your knowledge base. 8 of Swords. Oh, but temperance also is about a balance, right? So we have the dipping the foot in the water, which speaks to the spiritual realm, emotions, intuition. And the other foot is here on the flower, which speaks to tangible things, science, facts, physical realm, physics, right? Chemistry, like that type of thing. 8 of Swords and Queen of Coins. Ooh. So interestingly enough, I'm also looking at these 2 cards have a lot of brown skin, like some browns in the snake, brown tree, brown donkey skin, brown pots and pans here. So brown makes me think of the soil, makes me think of the earth, makes me think of like dryness here, even though like I'm not hearing like muddy. So I'm hearing too that your persona can also be seen as very cut and dry. Like your future spouse probably would not ever describe you as someone who's like the goofball, the class clown, the prima donna, high maintenance, right? Giggly. Like I feel like they wouldn't really describe you that way. Like your personality is very solid, okay? Very maybe dry, right? Like you're not the one cracking jokes in the room. It's like, I feel like your energy, again, we were talking about, very straightforward. You know what I'm saying? But also, you know, I'm feeling like things get done. Like what else is the soil? The soil is the basis of how life grows, right? How plants emerge and become trees or flowers or crops. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's that fertileness about the earth and about you. Like with this creativity, I feel like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you were some type of marketer, like you were in marketing, or you were in scientific research, or you were in, I feel like even teaching, right? Because you have this way about you where you have so much knowledge, you have so much creativity, and you can transmit that, right? And in a way, like fertilize young minds, bring out about abundance, right? Through understanding how the mind works and helping convey certain messages. You know, that's like kind of what marketing is in a way, and like teaching and all that kind of stuff. So, wow, was not expecting that when these cards came up, because those have nothing to do with the traditional meaning of the cards. But that's what's so great about tarot, is it's very intuitive as well. I'm seeing here too that there's a bit of a shyness about you. Okay, like again, you're not that you're not the ham that likes to take center stage and like be seen and be heard by everybody, but there's a little bit of a shyness about you coming through. What else do we have coming through? And oh, I just heard the phrase, it's like you're a woman or man of the earth, right? It's like a phrase that they use to describe someone that's very hardy, right? Very, has a lot of fortitude, right? Has a lot of endurance and stamina, like a man or woman of the earth, made of the earth, right? We're very stable, very solid. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, loves. Okay, can we get one more card? Here it is. Okay, so I don't know why I flipped this one out. So I feel like we should just talk about this first. 10 of Cups. I definitely feel like you're probably a family person as well. You know, Rabbit is also a very abundant creature when it comes to reproducing. You know what I'm saying? Very fertile creature. And so I feel like you are a family person at your core, at your heart. I'm hearing maybe you're not one to have this wide and extensive social network, but you have a very close knit family and you look after yours. And you have probably like a very tight knit group of friends, is what I'm feeling as well. Now, there's something about how these people are like mermaid looking people and these are like human beings. I feel like there's something there with that. Okay, well, let's look at the other cards. Maybe that will help me clarify. So we have 9 of Cups. Wow, 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And 7 of Swords. So this is really beautiful that we're seeing these two cards here because your future spouse definitely feels very happy, very content being married to you. So they would describe you as like their perfect spouse, their perfect partner, because the 9 of Cups is also about wishes being granted. This is about domestic bliss, emotional fulfillment. So your future spouse, what I'm hearing is they would say like, you complete me, right? So we have elements of water, elements of earth, elements of water, elements of earth, right? Coming through here. So it's like you fill whatever void they may have or whatever gaps in their expertise or personality, like whatever's like, basically you complete them. Isn't that sweet? They really feel like you complete them, you fit them so perfectly. They feel like you're a great match, great complement to each other here. And they're like super happy to be with you. I'm sensing like marital bliss. So if anyone asks like, how's your marriage going? Like they are like over the moon with it. They're super happy with your partnership. Now, what do we have here with the 7 of Swords? I'm hearing that at times your future spouse, kind of going with this earlier, some of those earlier energies, like you can be scary, right? We have this like creepy creature over here with like sharp teeth. I'm hearing that you can be really creepy at times and scary and intimidating. So not creepy in the way of like, you know, a creeper where someone's just like staring at you in uncomfortable ways and like touching you inappropriately or whatever. Like, no, not that type of creeper. But creepy in the way is like, how do you know so much? How do you know what's in my head? And how is it you can keep going? Like, I'm already pooped and exhausted and like you're still going and you gotta like, right? Like the times when you can get so obsessed with something is like, wow, it's like impressive. Do you know what I'm saying? And scary in the sense of like, again, doing things no matter the cost, no matter what sacrifices need to be made in order to achieve your objective or your goal. And so what I'm hearing is like, you know, part of this persona that you have is you're not afraid to speak your truth and your thoughts. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you hear this in life where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that to them. Like, that took a lot of guts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you stand up and you speak your mind in situations where other people might be like very afraid to do so. Okay, so that's what I mean by like that scary energy where it's like nothing intimidates you, nothing scares you. Like the world is very manageable in your eyes, in your opinion, and there's very little that you fear. Oh, yeah, that's a good way to describe you, right? Like in a lot of ways, fearless. I love it. So I hope you really enjoyed this reading. I had a lot of fun transmitting these messages for you, loves. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support that you show with likes and comments and letting the ads run and sharing these videos. Like, I really, really appreciate all of that energy going to help this channel grow and expand and reach more people. It means a lot to me. So thank you. And remember, oh, before that, if you do want a personal reading, like you want a little bit more personalized messages, just check the description box down below to see how you can get those. And then remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after loves. Thank you again. I'll see you soon.